The Formula One 2022 season finally came to an end. While there were many highs and lows throughout the year, what really took the spotlight towards the end was Sebastian Vettel, since the driver announced he was going to retire after this season. As sad as we all are, we took this opportunity to celebrate his most memorable moments on and off track, along with looking at where the legend stands amongst other motorsport greats, starting with his first F1 race win in 2008. At the 2008 Italian Grand Prix in Monza, a teenage Sebastian Vettel was driving for Red Bull's sister team Toro Rosso, which is now known as AlphaTauri, when he scored his and the team's maiden victory. Following his pole position in qualifying, Vettel was able to win the race, which began under a safety car due to heavy rain that later dried. At the time, Vettel was 21 years and 73 days old, making him the youngest driver to win an F1 race. Even though this record has since been broken by Max Verstappen, who won the Spanish Grand Prix at the age of 18 in 2016, it was the perfect signal to all other drivers that something spectacular was in the works. Moving on, being the youngest world champion in 2010. Vettel won his first world championship at the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and he did so at the age of 23 years and 134 days. On this day, Seb became the youngest driver to win a world championship, a record he still retains. As a cherry on top, it was the first win for his team Red Bull as constructors champions too. Let's look at the Multi-21 controversy in 2013. Rivalries amongst teammates are to be expected in Formula One, and this was undoubtedly the situation for Vettel and fellow Red Bull driver Mark Webber. Red Bull notoriously ordered both of its drivers to preserve position, nicknamed the Multi-21 Directive, at the 2013 Malaysian Grand Prix so that Webber's car remained ahead of Vettel's car. But drama erupted as Vettel defied this team order and instead passed Webber with 13 laps remaining to claim the victory. After that, there were heated moments in the podium area as Webber reminded Vettel of the team's command, and the camera turned to the youthful and controversial race winner violently sipping a bottle of water. When this occurrence was later brought up to Vettel in an interview, he delivered a critical defense of his tactics, claiming that he was racing, he was quicker, he passed him, and so he won. Now, that was some confidence for a 26-year-old driver, not to mention his 9 wins in a row and a quadruple championship. After winning the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2013, Vettel became the first driver to win 9 consecutive races in a single season. What's more, he tied the record of 13 wins in a season set by fellow German Michael Schumacher in 2004. It was also the season in which Vettel won his 4th world title, making him a quadruple champion at the age of 26. We don't know if we'll ever see such a run from any driver again. Let's also look at his championship fights with Lewis Hamilton. Everyone is a Ferrari fan, Vettel famously declared, and F1 fans definitely enjoyed witnessing his fights with Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton after joining the Italian F1 team in 2015. In the 2017 and 2018 seasons, the two had hard-fought contests, with Hamilton eventually winning the championships. But the head-to-head fights on the track are something that any racing enthusiast would give anything to see again. Even Hamilton acknowledged this at the 2021 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. One memorable occurrence occurred at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2017 when Vettel reacted to his rival's brake testing by driving into his rival's car and was fined for this maneuver. He recently apologized for this, telling Hamilton in a press conference at the 2022 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that he didn't think it was a good time for him because what he did wasn't right. The driver stated that the pair's bond improved from that point forward. So, all's well that ends well. Next up, Aston Martin's first podium in 2021. Vettel departed Ferrari in 2021 to join Aston Martin, but struggled with consistency after missing to score in the first 4 races of the season. That was unsurprising, given that Aston Martin has always been a midfield squad rather than one that competes for podiums and titles. Still, despite starting the race in 10th place, Seb managed to earn the team a surprise maiden podium. The driver finished an unexpected 2nd, and the world was overjoyed to see him back on the podium. Coming up, his activism's perhaps the highlight of his career. In the F1 paddock, Vettel's known for raising awareness of a variety of social concerns, including human rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and climate change. The German was chastised at the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2021 for wearing a rainbow Same Love t-shirt in solidarity with the LGBTQ+ community during the national anthem, and for calling the country's controversial vote on anti-LGBTQ+ laws embarrassing. Last year, he chastised his own sport for not going far enough to develop greener engines, calling present standards useless. What's more, the driver was seen assisting stewards in picking up garbage after racing in the British Grand Prix at Silverstone in 2021. All of this is what truly separates him from the rest of the grid and adds to his persona of being more than just a Formula One driver. Next up, Question Time appearance in 2022. In May, the driver became the first active Formula One driver to participate on the BBC political debate show Question Time in London. During the show, Vettel was questioned about his thoughts on a variety of political matters, including his thoughts on Brexit as a German and climate change in terms of calculating one's carbon footprint. The German driver driver was forthright and honest in expressing his opinions, and he did not hold back in putting his thoughts on the table. This interview, along with his other vocal moments, has undoubtedly paved the door for other drivers to express themselves fearlessly. Vettel has truly been an icon in this regard. Coming up next, he joined Instagram to announce his retirement in 2022. Most F1 drivers are very active on social media these days, with Vettel being an exception until he chose to join Instagram in July of this year. Fans were overjoyed to learn that they will be seeing more content on their Instagram feeds. But here's the thing, his initial post on the platform was to announce his departure from Formula One, which quickly turned into heartbreak. We all recall how fans of any team or driver mourned this announcement since no one was prepared for Vettel to leave the sport. In a video announcement, he said, "I therefore announce my retirement from Formula One by the end of the 2022 season." In this declaration, he expressed his affection for the sport and the importance it has played in his life, as well as the unrivaled support he has gotten from all corners. But what was more important were his plans for the future. He stated that he'd now be using this platform and reach to help raise his voice for good. Moving on, let's talk about his final race in F1. Seb raced one last time on track at the Yas Marina racetrack on Sunday, and it was one for the record books. Although the race itself wasn't particularly exciting, the driver managed to finish in the points, and we witnessed glimpses of his driving genius throughout the 58 laps. The organization's tribute to one of the sport's biggest racing superstars to have set foot on the track was a true highlight. The normal F1 opening played before races were changed this time, such that Seb was the last driver to appear. Fans were quick to notice and couldn't keep their emotions under control. What's more, prior to this race, the entire grid paid respect to Seb at the pre-race ceremony. After the race, we also got to see the 35-year-old driver do some donuts on the track, one last time for old time's sake. To top it all off, a few hours after the race, he went live on Instagram and had an emotional one-on-one with the viewers. All in all, it was a beautiful send-off, just like the legend deserved. Lastly, let's look at where the driver stands in the list of the greatest F1 drivers. It's a no-brainer that Seb has made his name in the sport for ages to come. While his being a four-time world champion surely helps put his name up there, along with his other records that we mentioned above, Vettel's true impact goes far beyond just being an excellent driver. His activism, coupled with his sheer bravery both on and off the track, made him a fierce competitor along with being an excellent human being. Not everyone has the privilege to be loved by fans as unanimously as Vettel has. Even the greats who have better records on the stat sheet, such as Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, didn't have this honor. In our opinion, this is what made Vettel so unique, his impact both on the sport and outside of it. He truly transcended motorsports and showed the world that it is possible to be the best driver and also simultaneously a humble person who raises his voice on the wrongdoings around them. Danke, Seb. That's a wrap for this video. What is your all-time favorite Sebastian Vettel moment? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.